The bus, a rumbling metal beast, finally hissed to a stop, its brakes sighing after the long journey. Dust billowed around the wheels, a testament to the miles traveled across the rugged Bolivian landscape. The air hung thick with anticipation, the scent of diesel and distant mountains filling my lungs. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Globebit on YouTube for more travel stories and adventures. And I stepped out into Sucre, Bolivia, a city I'd only dreamed of until now. My boots hit the pavement, a solid thud that echoed the nervous excitement in my chest. This was it, the start of something new, something unknown. White buildings gleaming under the Andean sun stretched towards the sky. Their facades whispered stories of a bygone era, of conquistadors and revolutions, of a history both beautiful and brutal. Red roofs, a sea of terracotta stretching as far as the eye could see, added a splash of warmth to the cool colonial palette. They seemed to hum with the energy of the city, absorbing the sun's rays and radiating a gentle heat. And a crisp, unfamiliar air, thin and clean, filled my lungs. The altitude hit me immediately, a slight dizziness that reminded me I was far from home, high in the Andes. It was an invigorating feeling, a reminder of the adventure that lay ahead. Backpack, camera, no plan, just curiosity. The essential ingredients for any good adventure, I figured. I had a rough itinerary scribbled in a notebook, but I was more interested in the detours, the unexpected encounters, the stories that couldn't be found in any guidebook. What if I asked a local, not a guide, to show me their city, to peel back the layers of history and tourism and reveal the heart of Sucre? The idea sparked a thrill of anticipation. The plaza buzzed with life, a vibrant tapestry of sights and sounds. It was the city's beating heart, a place where people gathered to meet, to talk, to simply be. Kids chasing pigeons, their laughter echoing through the square. A timeless scene played out against the backdrop of colonial grandeur. Their energy was infectious, a reminder of the simple joys of life. Old men reading newspapers, their faces etched with the wisdom of years, their silence a comfortable presence in the bustling square. They were the keepers of the city's stories, the silent witnesses to its triumphs and tragedies. Everyone moving to a rhythm I didn't know, a subtle choreography of daily life that I was eager to understand. I felt like an outsider looking in, a stranger in a strange land, but I was determined to find my place in this vibrant scene. It's strange being invisible in a new place, both freeing and terrifying. Freeing because you can observe without being observed, explore without being judged. Terrifying because you're alone, vulnerable, without the familiar comforts of home. I could do the tourist thing, visit the museum, see the historical sites. But where's the story in that? Where's the real connection? The authentic experience? My mission? Find a friendly face, someone with a story, someone willing to share a glimpse of their life with a curious stranger. It was a daunting task, but I was driven by a desire to connect, to understand, to experience Sucre beyond the surface. It's vulnerable, asking for someone's time. What if they say no? What if I sound ridiculous? The fear of rejection gnawed at me, the self-doubt whispering in my ear. But curiosity won out. What's Sucre really like beyond the guidebooks? Beyond the carefully curated tourist experiences? What secrets did this city hold, and who would be willing to share them with me? I took a breath, adjusted my camera, a familiar comfort in this unfamiliar place. It was my shield, my tool, my way of connecting with the world. And told myself, let's go make a friend. Let's break down the barriers, bridge the cultural divide, and find a human connection in this vibrant, chaotic city. The adventure wasn't about the place, it was about the people. It was about the shared moments, the unexpected connections, the stories that would stay with me long after I left Sucre. It was about finding humanity in the heart of Bolivia. I spotted a woman at a fruit stall. Perfect, I thought. I tried my best Spanish, but she barely glanced at me. Rejection. Not mean, just busy. Next, a shoe shiner. Focused, polite, but not interested in chatting. Lesson learned, people have lives. My quest wasn't on their agenda. I bought a saltina and sat in the square trying to look approachable. A few smiles, a tipped hat, tiny victories but fleeting. After an hour, I felt like part of the scenery, ready to give up. One last look around the plaza. That's when I saw him, sitting by the fountain, sketching, lost in thought. He didn't look busy, he looked interesting. One more try, I told myself, just one more. I walked over. The heart of Sucre pulsed around me, a vibrant blend of history and modern life. I took a deep breath, the crisp mountain air filling my lungs. I approached the fountain, its ornate carvings a testament to the city's rich colonial past. The water sparkled under the Andean sun, a mesmerizing dance of light and shadow. I felt a nervous flutter in my stomach, a mix of excitement and trepidation. This was it, the moment to step outside my comfort zone and embrace the unknown. As I got closer, I noticed a young man sitting by the fountain, his brow furrowed in concentration. He was sketching in a large notebook, his hand moving with a practiced grace. The scene was so peaceful, so authentic that I felt a surge of courage. "Hola!" I said, voice shaky but determined. It was time to break the ice. I leaned in slightly, trying to get a better look at his drawing. It was a detailed rendering of one of the colonial buildings surrounding the plaza, capturing its intricate details with remarkable precision. "Your drawing is beautiful," I said, my voice gaining confidence. "You've really captured the essence of the architecture." I hoped my compliment would ease the tension and encourage him to engage in conversation. He looked up, startled, and then smiled, genuine, warm, and instantly disarming. It was the kind of smile that could melt away any apprehension. His eyes sparkled with kindness, and I knew in that instant that I had made the right decision to approach him. He introduced himself. His name was Marco. The name felt right somehow, fitting his easygoing demeanor and artistic spirit. I felt a sense of relief wash over me. This encounter was already exceeding my expectations. I took a deep breath and explained my idea, the slightly crazy, impulsive idea that had brought me to this fountain in the first place. I wanted to experience the real Sucre, not just the tourist version. I confessed that I was new in town, completely without a plan, and feeling a little lost amidst the unfamiliar surroundings. I was hoping for an authentic experience. I told him I was hoping to see the real Sucre, the hidden gems and local haunts, with a local who knew the city inside and out. Someone who could show me the soul of Sucre. He listened intently, his eyes never leaving mine, then grinned, a playful glint in his eyes. "You want me to be your guide?" he asked, a hint of amusement in his voice. "Yes, just for a little while," I replied, my enthusiasm bubbling over. "I'll buy you coffee, or lunch, whatever you want." I was willing to offer anything to convince him. He threw his head back and laughed, a warm, infectious sound that echoed through the plaza. "Most tourists have a map," he chuckled. "You have nothing." He shrugged, a gesture that conveyed both nonchalance and a hint of curiosity. "Why not? I have no classes today, and your story sounds interesting." We shook hands, sealing the deal. His grip was firm and friendly, a silent promise of adventure. Suddenly, inexplicably, I had a friend in a foreign land. Someone who was willing to share his time and his city with a complete stranger. Marco, I learned, was a university student, deeply passionate about his studies and his city. He was studying architecture with a particular interest in the preservation of Sucre's unique colonial heritage. Born and raised in Sucre, he knew every nook and cranny of the city, every hidden alleyway and historical landmark. And surprisingly, he wasn't interested in money, a rare and refreshing quality in a world often driven by profit. He was just genuinely intrigued by my request, by the idea of showing his city to someone who truly wanted to experience its essence. "My grandfather said a stranger is just a friend you haven't shared a story with yet," Marco said, his voice filled with a quiet wisdom that belied his young age. I was floored by his words, by the simple yet profound truth they contained. It was a perspective that resonated deeply within me. He was giving me his time, his knowledge, his friendship, just for the sake of sharing a story, of connecting on a human level. In that moment, standing in the heart of Sucre, I wasn't a ghost anymore, drifting aimlessly through life. I felt seen, acknowledged, and connected. The adventure had truly begun, not just a sightseeing tour, but a journey of connection, discovery, and shared humanity. With a sense of excitement and anticipation, we set off together, ready to explore the hidden corners and untold stories of Sucre. Before our tour, Marco insisted, "You must meet my mother." We entered a sunlit courtyard, potted plants, laundry, the smell of frying onions. His mother Elena greeted me with a warm smile and a fresh kunape. My Spanish was clumsy, but her hospitality needed no translation. The home was simple, filled with family photos and love. Marco showed me his room sketches everywhere, including the plaza where we met. Elena packed us more kunapes, sending us off with a mother's blessing. I felt deeply grateful not just for a tour, but for a glimpse into real life. Marco's family welcomed me like one of their own. This was the connection I'd been searching for. My perspective on travel was already changing. "First, real coffee," Marco said, leading me to a hidden cafe with no sign. Inside, the air was thick with the smell of roasting beans. The owner nodded at Marco, clearly a local spot. No menu, just 2 cups of strong coffee and buttery biscuits. Marco told me about his architecture dreams, his love for Sucre's hidden corners. He asked about my life in New York, my family, my job. To be a professional friend, he joked, and we both laughed. Conversation flowed, music, movies, life's big questions. We swapped stories, laughed at our failures, found common ground. We weren't just guide and tourist anymore. In that tiny cafe, a real friendship was brewing. Sometimes the best connections happen over coffee. We left energized for the rest of the day. "Now, I want to show you my favorite view," Marco said with a smile, his eyes twinkling with anticipation. He had been hinting at this spot all day, building up the suspense. He started leading me up a steep cobblestone hill that snaked its way through the heart of the city. The air was thin, and each step required a little more effort than the last. Along the way, we passed his old school, a beautiful colonial building with a rich history etched into its walls. He paused for a moment, a nostalgic look on his face. Further up, we saw the soccer field of his childhood, a simple patch of green where countless games had been played, dreams forged, and friendships cemented. He told me stories of epic matches and unforgettable victories. Each step we took up that hill felt significant, each footfall echoing with the weight of his memories. Each step a piece of his story, a tangible connection to the city he called home. Finally, we reached the top. He led me past the throngs of tourists jostling for the best photo spots, his purpose clear. He guided me to a hidden bench tucked away under the shade of a sprawling tree, a secluded sanctuary away from the crowds. From here, the entire city spread out before us in a breathtaking panorama, a tapestry of history, culture, and natural beauty. The iconic white walls of the colonial buildings gleamed in the afternoon sun, a testament to the city's rich heritage. The red tile roofs added a splash of warmth and character to the urban landscape, creating a visually stunning mosaic. And in the distance, the majestic green mountains provided a stunning backdrop, a reminder of the city's connection to the natural world. "I come here to think," Marco said, his voice soft and contemplative. "It helps me see clearly, to gain perspective on things." We sat in comfortable silence, both of us soaking in the awe-inspiring view and the peaceful atmosphere. The air was crisp and clean, carrying the scent of eucalyptus and wildflowers. As we sat there, he began to point out personal landmarks, weaving a narrative of his life into the cityscape. He showed me his grandmother's house, a charming traditional home with a vibrant garden, and he pointed out the bustling local market where his mother still shops for fresh produce every week. He layered his memories over the city's geography, transforming the landscape into a living, breathing story, giving me a secret map only he could provide. As we talked, the sun began to dip low on the horizon, painting the sky with hues of orange, pink, and purple. The golden light bathed everything in a warm, ethereal glow, transforming the city into a magical wonderland. This was the magic I'd hoped for, the kind of experience that transcends the ordinary and touches the soul. It wasn't just a view, it was a shared perspective, a moment of genuine connection that transcended language and culture. Travel, at its best, is about seeing the world through someone else's eyes, understanding their story and sharing a piece of their heart. Heading back down, the city buzzed with energy. Marco stopped. "Listen!" Drums and flutes echoed from a nearby plaza. We found a crowd watching a diablada. Dancers in wild costumes, music pulsing through the air. It was mesmerizing, raw, real, electric. I'd seen photos, but this was alive, happening right in front of me. I filmed a bit, wanting to remember the joy and color. When the dance ended, the crowd cheered and the dancers laughed, just regular people transformed for a moment. Culture wasn't in a museum. It was right here, in the streets. Sharing that moment with Marco felt like a secret gift. Sometimes the city's magic finds you. Evening came and Marco's mother called. Dinner invitation. "You must come, she's making pique macho," Marco said, grinning. I tried to protest, but he insisted, "You are our guest." The house was lively. His sister Sophia, his father Hector, everyone bustling. Elena served a mountain of pique macho. Beef, sausages, fries, eggs, spicy sauce. We ate together, sharing stories, laughter, and questions about each other's worlds. The conversation was a mix of Spanish and English, full of warmth. I felt like part of the family, not just a visitor. This meal was more than food. It was belonging. The real heart of travel is being welcomed at someone's table. For one night I was truly home. I'd found what I was looking for. After dinner, Marco and I returned to the lookout, city lights twinkling below. We sat on our hidden bench, full bellies and full hearts. The day had been a whirlwind, from awkward beginnings to family dinner. "Did you find the real Sucre?" Marco asked. "I found a piece of its heart," I replied. I told him how his simple yes changed everything. It wasn't about the places, but the people and their generosity. Marco smiled. Showing you my city made me see it again. We realized we both gained something. A new friend, a new perspective. The greatest adventures aren't on a map, they're in the people you meet. All it takes is the courage to say hello. Sometimes a stranger becomes a friend. And that's the real story. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to GlobeBit on YouTube for more incredible journeys and future videos about hidden gems, local cultures, and unforgettable adventures around the world.